Have you ever wondered why some people grow wiser with time, while others stay trapped in the same circle of thoughts year after year? Have you ever met someone who seems to radiate calm intelligence? Someone whose words carry the quiet strength of experience and reflection? And asked yourself where that depth comes from? Most of the time, it is not luck. It is not privilege. It is a choice. The choice to learn, to read, and to surround oneself with people who nourish the mind rather than drain it. Before we go deeper, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. This space is for those who seek meaning, who believe that growth never stops, who want to turn every day into a lesson. Your presence here supports this journey of reflection and transformation. Reading is not just about collecting information. It is about expanding the boundaries of our own mind. Every book is a doorway to another life, another era, another way of seeing the world. Through reading, we step beyond the limits of our own experiences and borrow the eyes of others. Thinkers, dreamers, rebels, visionaries. The psychologist Carl Rogers once said, "The only person who is educated is the one who has learned how to learn and change." True education is not memorizing facts. It is the ability to adapt, to evolve, to question, and to grow. Self-education begins when curiosity becomes stronger than comfort. It is what happens when you decide that waiting for the world to teach you is too slow, and you take charge of your own learning. It is what great minds have always done. Socrates never wrote a book, yet he read the world through dialogue. Leonardo da Vinci never had a university degree, yet his notebooks reveal the endless hunger of a self-taught soul. They understood that learning is not a period of life, it is a way of living. Reading refines your thoughts the way fire purifies gold. It burns away ignorance, shapes your words, and trains your mind to think in patterns of clarity instead of confusion. The more you read, the less easily you are manipulated. You start seeing the hidden mechanisms behind human behavior, the subtle motives in politics, the invisible strings that move societies. You become harder to deceive, harder to control. As Francis Bacon said, "Reading maketh a full man." A full mind leaves less space for emptiness, but reading alone is not enough. The environment you keep is the soil in which your ideas either bloom or wither. You could read every great book in the world, but if you surround yourself with people who laugh at growth, who mock ambition, who feed gossip instead of wisdom, your flame will suffocate. The people around you are like mirrors. They reflect the level of your own thinking back to you. If you want to rise, walk with those who rise. If you want to learn, spend time with those who question. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Choose them carefully, for they become your invisible teachers. There are moments when reading a single page can change the direction of your life. You encounter a sentence that seems to speak directly to your soul. It stays with you for days, shaping your decisions quietly. Books have that mysterious power. They plant seeds that grow in silence. You might not notice their influence immediately, but one day you realize that your reactions, your values, even your vocabulary have changed. You see the world differently, and that difference began with ink on paper. The art of self-education also means learning from life itself. Every experience, every mistake, every conversation is a lesson waiting to be decoded. Reading gives you the language to interpret those lessons. It teaches you to ask better questions, to listen deeply, to connect dots others ignore. Albert Einstein once said, "The measure of intelligence is the ability to change." And change requires awareness, and the kind of awareness that grows through reflection and study. Some people fear books because they fear the responsibility that comes with knowledge. When you know better, you can no longer pretend you don't. Reading forces you to confront your own contradictions. It makes you question what you believe, what you value, what you follow blindly. It challenges the ego. That discomfort is not a punishment. It is growth. The philosopher Epictetus reminded his students, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Humility is the door to all wisdom. When you decide to educate yourself, you start seeing time differently. Hours that once slipped away in distraction become opportunities to feed your mind. Waiting rooms, commutes, quiet evenings, they all become classrooms. The more you learn, the more you crave learning. Knowledge becomes addictive, but in a way that frees you instead of chaining you. You no longer seek approval from the ignorant. You seek understanding from the wise. It is often said that success leaves clues. Those clues are written in books. Every successful person you admire has read, not because someone forced them, but because they discovered the secret that reading compresses centuries of experience into a few hours. When you read a biography, you borrow a lifetime of trial and error. When you read philosophy, you inherit the distilled wisdom of civilizations. When you read psychology, you begin to understand yourself and others. That is how reading multiplies life, not by adding years, but by adding depth. But self-education is not limited to reading. It is a mindset. It means observing, reflecting, experimenting. It means replacing complaints with curiosity. It means asking, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Every challenge becomes a textbook. Every failure, a lesson plan. Life becomes a vast university where tuition is paid in attention. The company you keep will either accelerate or sabotage this learning. Negative people speak the language of limitation. They will tell you that reading is a waste of time, that thinking too much leads to sadness, that success belongs to others. But wise companions challenge you. They recommend books, share insights, question your logic, and celebrate your progress. They don't feed your ego. They feed your evolution. Seek such souls, for they are rare. When you commit to continuous learning, you begin to outgrow versions of yourself. The conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. The habits that once comforted you now feel heavy. Growth demands release. Release of ignorance, of laziness, of the fear of being different. Reading gives you the courage to evolve publicly. You learn that solitude is not loneliness. It is the workshop of transformation. Books become your silent friends, your mentors, your refuge. In the end, knowledge is not about superiority. It is about service. The more you know, the more you can give. The more you understand, the more patient you become. Reading cultivates empathy because it forces you to live 1,000 lives. It reminds you that everyone carries an untold story. As you grow wiser, you judge less and help more. When your mind expands through reading and self-education, your outer life follows. You start making better decisions, not impulsively but intentionally. You begin to design your environment instead of adapting blindly to it. You become selective with what you consume, not only in food but in ideas. You choose silence over noise, purpose over pleasure, growth over comfort. That shift is invisible at first, but over years it transforms everything. Remember this truth. Ignorance is expensive and wisdom is free for those who seek it. Libraries, audiobooks, podcasts, mentors, they are all accessible to those who decide that their mind deserves more than entertainment. Start small. 10 pages a day. 1 meaningful conversation a week. 1 hour without distraction. These tiny acts accumulate into mastery. The Japanese call it Kaizen, continuous improvement, one step at a time. And when doubt whispers that it's too late, remember that the brain can grow at any age. Neuroscience proves that learning reshapes our neural connections. Every new idea you absorb literally rewires your brain. You are never stuck unless you stop learning. That is the silent miracle of self-education. It keeps you young, alive, awake. So read, not to show off, but to show up. Read to build inner strength. Read to understand before being understood. Read to think for yourself in a world that rewards conformity. Let your bookshelf become a map of your evolution. Each title a memory, each author a companion on the journey toward your best self. In the quiet hours of the morning or the stillness of the night, when the world is asleep, open a book. Let its words remind you that every page turned is a step toward freedom. The freedom to think, to choose, to become. And when you close that book, carry its light into your conversations, your work, your relationships. For the true purpose of learning is not to escape life. It is to illuminate it. One day someone will ask you where your wisdom came from. Smile gently and say, From silence, from books, and from the people who made me believe that knowledge is a form of love. Because in the end, that's what education truly is.